How to talk in English. Lily often felt a heavy knot in her stomach. She understood every word of her favorite English movies, comprehended articles with ease, but when it came to speaking, her tongue froze. This silent struggle was a constant companion. It was her daily, frustrating barrier. Her mind raced with perfect sentences, yet no sound escaped her lips. The vivid thoughts remained trapped, a frustrating internal monologue playing on loop. This chasm between understanding and articulation seemed insurmountable most days. She yearned for fluid conversation. She knew listening was crucial. Hours were spent consuming podcasts and audiobooks. Her comprehension skills soared, making her feel almost proficient. Yet, this passive intake alone wasn't enough to unlock her voice, a harsh reality she faced often. The advice to just speak felt like a cruel joke. How could she, when every attempt felt clumsy, every word mispronounced or forgotten? The fear of judgment loomed large, silencing her before she even began, a persistent shadow. This was Lily's everyday struggle, a secret burden she carried. Friends would often switch to their native tongue, sensing her discomfort, reinforcing her belief that she was simply not built for English conversation. Her confidence waned with each missed opportunity. One evening, scrolling through social media, she stumbled upon a simple mantra: English is not a performance, it's a communication tool. This shifted her perspective slightly. Maybe her goal wasn't perfection, but connection, a profound realization. She realized understanding English deeply was a fantastic foundation, a hidden superpower. Her brain already knew the grammar rules and a vast vocabulary passively. The challenge was activating that knowledge, bringing it from her mind to her mouth. The first step, she decided, must be to remove the audience. If judgment was the enemy, then she needed a safe space. Her apartment, she realized, was the perfect, non-judgmental English language laboratory, a personal sanctuary. She started small. Standing in front of her mirror, she described her outfit. "This is a blue shirt. I am wearing jeans." The words felt clumsy, strange on her tongue, but they were her words, spoken aloud for the first time. This daily ritual became her secret weapon. She narrated her morning routine: "I am brushing my teeth. I will make coffee now." It felt absurd at first, but the consistent sound of her own voice speaking English slowly felt less foreign. She began talking to her plants, telling them about her day, explaining concepts. "You're growing so fast, little plant. Your leaves are so green." It was silly, yes, but immensely liberating, building muscle memory for her mouth. Then came the suggestion: start talking at home. Not just to herself, but trying to incorporate English into daily family interactions, even if just a few simple phrases. This was a bolder step, yet a necessary one, she felt. Her family, though initially surprised, became her unwitting support system. Simple requests: "Pass the salt, please," or "What time is it?" became small victories, building micro-moments of successful English communication, reducing fear. She also started summarizing her thoughts aloud. After reading an article, she'd retell it to an empty room. This forced her to structure sentences, recall vocabulary, and articulate ideas without the pressure of live conversation, a powerful exercise. Reading, she discovered, was truly paramount. She had always read for comprehension, but now she read actively for speaking. She paid attention to how sentences were formed, new idiomatic expressions, and natural phrasing in context. She chose books and articles slightly above her comfort level, pushing her vocabulary boundaries. Each new word was a victory, not just for understanding, but for potential use. She underlined phrases, not just single words, to grasp collocations. Why reading is important became clear. It provides the blueprint for natural speech. You see how fluent speakers construct ideas, how grammar flows effortlessly. It builds an intuitive sense of the language, a vital internal guide. Her reading list expanded from light fiction to nonfiction on topics she genuinely enjoyed. This made the learning process enjoyable, not a chore, and ensured the vocabulary she encountered was relevant to her interests and potential conversations. She started noticing the rhythm of English through reading, how pauses were placed, how emphasis was given. This subtle understanding helped her internalize the cadence, preparing her for more natural spoken delivery, improving her fluency. Listening to English was already a habit, but she refined her approach. Instead of just passive intake, she began actively mimicking. She'd pause podcasts and repeat sentences, focusing on intonation and stress patterns of native speakers. She listened to different accents, exposing herself to the vast diversity of spoken English. This broadened her understanding and made her less intimidated by unfamiliar pronunciations, building resilience against potential confusion. The process of how to talk in English was slowly unveiling itself. It wasn't a sudden leap, but a gradual accumulation of small, consistent habits. Each successful interaction, no matter how brief, built upon the last, growing her confidence. Regarding how to remember words, she adopted several strategies. Context was key. She always tried to understand new words within the sentence they appeared, rather than isolated definitions, creating stronger mental links. She created a personal vocabulary journal, not just listing words, but writing example sentences from her reading or listening material. This active engagement cemented the words more firmly in her memory for later recall and use. Flashcards became her best friends, especially for active recall. She used spaced repetition apps to ensure she reviewed words just before she was about to forget them, optimizing her memory retention scientifically. Lily also started associating new words with images or personal experiences. If a word was serene, she'd picture a quiet lake she loved. This emotional connection made words stick longer and made them easier to retrieve when needed. To truly learn words, she made a conscious effort to use them. If she learned ubiquitous, she'd try to incorporate it into her internal monologue, her mirror talk, or even a simple text message to a friend, making them active vocabulary. She understood that simply knowing a word wasn't enough. She needed to make it part of her active vocabulary. This required consistent, deliberate practice, pushing herself to activate words she had only previously recognized passively. Her approach to how to learn words became holistic: see, hear, write, and speak. Engaging multiple senses helped solidify the new information, moving it from short-term memory to long-term fluency, a powerful learning technique. The biggest hurdle remained: how to talk to anyone in English. The safe confines of her home were one thing, but venturing into real conversations felt terrifying. She knew she had to bridge this gap, however daunting it seemed. She started with simple, low-stakes interactions. Ordering coffee, asking for directions, making small talk with a cashier. These short exchanges allowed her to practice without the pressure of maintaining a lengthy conversation, building courage. She learned to prepare a few go-to phrases for common situations, like greetings or polite requests. This reduced the cognitive load in the moment, allowing her to focus more on understanding and responding naturally, feeling more prepared. She practiced active listening in these interactions, not just waiting for her turn to speak. By truly understanding the other person, her responses felt more natural and relevant, fostering genuine connection, easing her anxiety. When she didn't understand something, she learned to ask for clarification politely. "Could you please repeat that?" Or, "What do you mean by that?" This was a huge step, embracing mistakes as part of the learning process, not failures. She also developed a strategy for remembering people's names and key details, which helped in building rapport. Remembering small facts made conversations flow more easily and naturally, showing genuine interest and engagement. Her daily struggle with English gradually transformed into a daily journey of small victories. Each new word learned, each sentence spoken, was a step forward, building momentum and fueling her desire to continue improving and growing. She began to see her language learning not as a race to a finish line, but as an ongoing adventure. There would always be new words, new expressions, new nuances to discover, making the process exciting and continuous, never ending. The initial frustration of "I understand English, but I can't speak well" slowly faded. The active steps she took, the consistent practice, and the shift in mindset had started to bear fruit, visible in her newfound confidence. She started joining online communities for language learners, engaging in text-based conversations first, then eventually participating in voice chats. This provided a low-pressure environment to practice speaking with supportive peers. The fear of making mistakes, once paralyzing, began to diminish. She realized that everyone, including native speakers, makes mistakes. It was part of the human experience of communication, nothing to be ashamed of or fear. Her daily routine became infused with English. Reading English news during breakfast, listening to an English podcast during her commute, narrating her tasks in English, actively seeking opportunities for use, making it ingrained. She even started watching her favorite English movies with the English subtitles on, then without. This dual approach reinforced her listening comprehension while allowing her to catch subtle nuances she might have missed, enhancing her learning. The concept of "my daily day's struggle" morphed into "my daily English challenge." It was no longer a burden, but an exciting endeavor, a personal quest for fluency, something she embraced wholeheartedly and with enthusiasm. She found joy in discovering new English songs and understanding their lyrics fully. Singing along, even imperfectly, further trained her mouth and ear, making the learning process fun and engaging, a delightful way to practice. Lily realized the importance of self-compassion. Some days were harder than others, but she learned not to be too hard on herself. Every effort counted, and consistency, not perfection, was the true key to unlocking her voice to growth. Her confidence grew exponentially. What started as whispers in her apartment turned into clear, articulate sentences in public settings. She could express her opinions, ask questions, and engage meaningfully in various discussions, feeling empowered. Talking to anyone in English was no longer a distant dream, but a daily reality. She initiated conversations, maintained eye contact, and even found herself enjoying the challenge of explaining complex ideas in simple terms, a true triumph. She understood that fluent English wasn't about knowing every single word, but about confidently using the words you know to convey your message effectively. It was about communication, not an exhaustive lexicon, a critical insight. Her journey taught her that how to talk in English is deeply intertwined with self-belief and consistent, actionable steps. It's about building a solid foundation, practicing fearlessly, and embracing the entire learning process with patience. Lily's experience proved that understanding English is merely the first step. The true magic happens when you dare to open your mouth, make mistakes, and learn from every interaction, transforming passive knowledge into active skill. Her transformation was inspiring, a testament to resilience and dedication. The silent struggle had given way to a confident voice, a powerful symbol of her unwavering commitment to mastering the English language and herself. She now loved explaining concepts, sharing stories, and connecting with people from diverse backgrounds in English. The world had truly opened up, proving that the effort was profoundly worth it, a beautiful realization. Lily's story is a powerful reminder that anyone, regardless of their current level, can achieve fluency. It just requires a personalized strategy, unwavering dedication, and the courage to start speaking, today, right now.